What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome back. Talks for the People, episode 9. Cody, Steven, how y'all doing today?
What's going on, everybody? Merry Christmas. Glad to be back. Now we got New Year's coming up, so that's exciting. How you doing, Steven?
Doing good. It's a good day indeed. The weather is a little chilly, but gorgeous weather outside and excited for the new year because I'm pretty sure everyone has had their fight with 2020 and pretty ready for 2020 to be done.
Ready for
Agreed.
2020 to be over. Everybody wanted 2020. It's a big, cool number. Everybody was looking forward. It's going to be 2020. And it has turned out to be a colossal train wreck from the get-go. Good riddance to 2020, and not even the Green Day good riddance. Like, this was not the time of our lives. So peace out. Hope you never come back. Hopefully on the countdown this year, the New York 5, 4. Can y'all imagine this crap happening? The ball drops, 2021 lights up, then you hear the purge siren go off and it goes round 2. I mean, I think I would stab myself in the eye with a fork. I mean,
No.
that would just be a kick in the pants. And we do not get political in this podcast. We don't really give a damn what you think. You don't give a damn what we think. But things are happening, and hopefully within 3 to 4 more months, all this crap will be past us. We can move on, get back to normal. I can go to concerts. I can go on my cruise this year, which got canceled 4 times. Because we kept trying to push it out. Our cruise is still scheduled to happen, but it's all the way in damn September of 2021. So hopefully 9 months from now, I can go on my cruise and everything gets back to normal. I think everybody is about sick of 2020.
Accurate.
It was not a good year for anybody. I mean, we did start this, so y'all are welcome. Everybody listening, you're welcome. Getting to look at these 3 pretty mugs or listen to our ridiculousness every week on the audio feeds, however you choose to listen. We do appreciate y'all coming along for this new ride with us, and we look forward to many more episodes next year and the years to come. Just to touch on a few things, next week, if we can line everything up, we are planning on having our first guest on Talks for the People. We are planning on doing a crossover episode. We'll leave a little of the details secret for now until we get everything worked out. But we are going to be having a guest here on Talks for the People. And if everything works out good, I may be guest hosting on another friend's podcast. So we will give you all those details as soon as we have them. But for the first thing this week, we decided to add a news section, and it's not that big this week, but hopefully with y'all's input it will be in the future. But we wanted to feature the people more. This is Talks for the People, and we wanted to go over a couple of the comments. This week we were mainly talking about one individual person who's very active in our comments. We love seeing her stuff every week. She's got a lot of good hot takes for our podcast. And the one thing, she called out Steven last week on his hate for Billie Eilish. Jessica brought up a point that actually did resonate with me. You guys, she brought up that, a lot of her radio singles are not her best work. And I haven't had the opportunity to listen to a lot of her other work, but I will tell you this, what she did hit home. Even in the music I listen to, not a lot of it gets radio play. So the songs that do get radio play are usually the more radio-friendly singles. The one that popped in my head right away when I thought about this was Limp Bizkit. You go back to Limp Bizkit's first album, $3 Bill, and pretty much the only song that got radio play was their cover of George Michael's Faith. So imagine this. I mean, you hear Limp Bizkit doing Faith, which the end of it was a little bit heavy, but you hear Limp Bizkit doing Faith, And so you're like, ooh, this is a good band. I like this new band. I'm going to go buy their album. And then you get songs like Stuck, that's just balls to the wall new metal. I mean, hard hitting. I still maintain, I don't care what you think about Limp Bizkit. Their first album was a solid album. $3 Bill was great. But Jessica, I agree with you. Maybe not necessarily about Billie Eilish, but uh, a lot of bands' radio singles do not necessarily represent the rest of the music that is on their albums. And I thought Cody might know a little bit about that as well. He listens to maybe not some music as heavy as I do, but he has a lot of rock music, and a lot of the songs that get played on radio are not fully representative of songs that are on the rest of the album.
Yeah, so anybody that knows me know I'm a big Alter Bridge fan, and they do get some radio play on alternative stations. There's one up where I live and on up north that doesn't really pick up in Birmingham, but where I live and up and toward Huntsville and Nashville and stuff, it picks up 95.1 The Rocket, and they play some Alter Bridge songs on there. And the singles that they put out before that album come out, I wasn't crazy about it. I thought, man, this is gonna be terrible. And then when they finally released the album, man, there's some great songs on there that doesn't get on the radio. So I definitely understand what you're saying. That um, not always the stuff that gets on the radio is exactly representative of the whole album. Um, Now on Billie Eilish, I listened to her do a let's see, when the party's over, um, on Howard Stern. It was kind of a stripped down version. It was just her piano player and her singing. The guy was playing the piano. It was actually really good. She, she don't, she sings a little different. She kind of has that Lord kind of whiny sound, but it's it wasn't bad. I mean,
So
so it what it showed me was she can sing, in certain settings or whatever. So you should check
so
that out. It's not bad.
in my defense, I would like to point out that my biggest frustration wasn't so much with her as an individual, but between her and her producers and everyone who is feeding her musical career. They decided, hey, these songs right here, where she shows no talent, this is what we're going to roll with to make her famous. And that to me is the utmost frustration. And, to go back to Alan with his strong, strong, strong hate towards Guns N' Roses, because for the simple point, Guns N' Roses is very, very capable of writing good music. But they've chosen, you know what? We don't really feel like putting the work in for it. We're just going to do somebody else's music and get famous off of that. So, to my feelings towards it, she might be very capable of singing and have a beautiful voice and can make good music, but she, as the artist, allows her producers and everybody else to say, all right, yeah, this is what we're going to roll with. Maybe that song touches her a certain way and she wanted to share that with the people more. But to me, we don't, and that kind of falls to the culture where we talk about, the millennials and the generation coming up doesn't seem like they push as hard. To me, what her Bad Boys song that's on the radio right now pushes. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It just matters who you are, who you know, and nobody really fights for what they want to do anymore because it doesn't matter. If she can put, and I strongly feel it. Like I said, she might be able to sing, but that specific song on the radio, if she could put trash like that on the radio and get famous, why would anybody else want to try? Because it has nothing to do with how talented she is. She didn't do it. I could talk to background of music, so that's what frustrates me. I think she can do it. She might be very capable, but if that's what she and everybody is allowing to come out, it doesn't promote anything good moving forward.
I can definitely see where you're coming from, and we won't we we won't dwell on this much longer, but I will tell you this. It may be a hot take, it may be devil's advocate, but in a world where of at least pop, country, and top 40 rock, where 90% of the artists don't write their own music, and you don't have to take my word for it. Look at the liner notes, go
Oh yeah.
look up the song. Like it'll say performed by artist, written by, and there's this list of 3 or 4 names you've never heard of.
Yeah.
They've got songwriters. 90% of popular artists these days do not write their own music. And so, in the same way that I told you I had respect for Outkast because at least they use a live band when they record live,
Hmm.
from the research I have done on Billie Eilish and what I have read into her, I know that the band, quote unquote, band it's very much similar to like a Nine Inch Nails or a Filter thing. Like the band is Billie and her brother, I believe it is. And for better or worse, at least they write their own music. Whether it's
How
good or not, that's your
Well, back
opinion.
to Steven's point, how much of that do you think is the producers and the or not the producers, but the label company that's putting out those singles?
Oh,
Unless you've
it's
been out for a
100.
long time and have some street cred, just for for lack of a better term, you don't have any say. You just write, you put the music in, and they say what goes on the radio. So
Yeah.
a lot of times, I don't think they have a whole lot of control.
No,
Well,
until
and and I'll say this, which brings up a good point. Like I have huge respect for Machine Gun Kelly, right? So he started off as a rapper. The whole beef with Eminem and doing all that stuff. Dude went hard back into the early '90s, with punk rock. And I'm pretty sure today, if you would have asked anybody if punk rock was coming back, they would have been like, I don't know if I want it to. A lot of the younger generation, but Machine Gun Kelly is popular, and the music he's spitting out right now, bravo, my man. Because I mean, he could have kept going with rap, and there are some rappers that I enjoy. There's some rap music that I like. The beats are cool, but for the most part, a lot of the lyrics don't seem to motivate people to be better people in the public. It's all about F this, F that, F the popo. So when that switch that he did was an entire mentality change that he moved over to, and I have huge respect for that because I mean, uh, his music is good. I enjoy it,
well, I
and
was
it's a huge switch for one person to make.
and I was gonna say also that his new rock album does have a very pop punk feel and like has a lot of Blink 182 soundish to it.
Yeah,
And then I realized, oh yeah, he had Travis Barker playing drums for him on that album. So that may have influenced the Blink 182 a little bit. I
That makes a
mean,
difference.
you got Blink's drummer. You sound a little bit like Blink 182. But Travis Barker's an amazing artist as well. Side note, he's done a lot of work with rappers, rock guys, everything. Yeah, and you also got to remember that you talked about Cody's like the artists themselves may not have enough cred to determine
yeah,
their own their own singles. It reminded me of a funny story. You got some bands who want to do their own thing, and you take bands like Korn. Korn got to about what was it, their fifth album, fifth or sixth album. It was Take a Look in the Mirror, and the record company's like, okay guys, it's fifth album. We know you're popular. This is how I imagine it going. We know it's gonna sell. We don't have to put anything on the radio, but we want you to write a single. For those of you that don't know, Korn said, okay. Korn went into the studio and they specifically recorded a song to be put on the radio, to be played on MTV. And they said, here you go. And this, for those that don't know, this was their song that said, y'all want a single? Say fuck that. So they wrote a song called Y'all Want a Single. And Yeah, it's funny. The video is them just destroying a record store, throwing everything around, basically putting their finger in the face of the record company, saying, "Look, we're damn corn. We don't need a single to sell albums. Here you
I like it.
go."
I love it.
That's good.
All right. See, this is why y'all need to leave comments. We started on one topic and we went down a whole nother road. We've got one more for this week that I thought was pretty good. And if you follow the comments at all, you may have already seen my biggest ones. But Jessica also brought up one other thing. What are some of y'all's favorite foods that have been removed from fast food menus? For me, it's Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. How could they? Mexican pizza was my go-to. I got a Mexican pizza almost every damn time I went to Taco Bell, and now I cannot get a Mexican pizza anymore.
They don't have shit anymore. It's awful.
Cheesy Gordita Crunch is phenomenal. It's the best food you'll ever eat in your life.
Look, if you like it that much, it's the next thing they're going to take off the menu.
Yeah, you better hush.
Next thing you know, they're just going to be selling hard and soft shell tacos. Who wants to go to a taco place that sells just tacos?
But I mean, was there anything else y'all could think of that y'all used to get at fast food places that is not sold anymore?
I thankfully am not and it might not be a picky eater. I might be using the wrong phrase for it, but I'm not a picky eater in such where I go to a restaurant.
Not a picker eater.
I'm not a picky eater to the point where I am. Every time I go to a restaurant, I get the same thing every time. So one day it's just not there, right? So like I'll go to Burger King one day and I'll get a Whopper, and then I'll go to Burger King the next time and I'll get an original chicken sandwich, and then I'll go to Burger King another time and I'll get the chicken fries. So it's like, if something disappears, I'm like, okay, well, it's gone, but I eat 4 or 5 other things. So I've never really been upset or disappointed with it. And it's the same thing when it comes to, all the restaurants. Sonic, there's like 4 or 5 different things I eat there. Checkers, now if Checkers ever gets rid of fries, I'm burning restaurants down. Like that is the food. That is your Mexican pizza. If Checkers says, you know what, I don't think we're gonna do our specialty fries anymore. Oh no, Pyromaniac coming out. I'm finna burn some down.
Steven, if somebody knocks on your door this afternoon, you may want to run out the back window.
Are they getting rid of fries?
No, they're coming to ask you some questions.
Sorry. Well, as long as you keep the fries, you don't have to.
Sorry, you're about to commit arson.
Side note, real quick, Cody. I meant to hit you up in our pregame meeting. Back off the mic just a hair, or turn your gain down about 0.5. Your stat. You're not blowing out the levels, but you're a little bit staticky.
Got you.
There you go. You're good. I put our show notes a little out of order. Oh, one other thing. No, the thing that got taken off the menu. It's something else just hit me, and I can't believe I've forgotten it. It's been off the menu for so long. Sonic used to sell a chili cheeseburger and a jalapeno cheeseburger that was delicious. And now you've got your plain ass basic bitch burgers there. You can get it with mustard or mayonnaise, and that's it. Like, I want that chili cheeseburger. That chili cheeseburger at Sonic was delicious.
Yeah, for me, I can't think of a long-lasting item kind of like the Mexican pizza that's got taken off, but there's been some promotional things that's kind of I wish they'd have kept, like Wendy's when they had the Gouda, smoked Gouda jalapeno.
I know what you're talking about.
Fries.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those were good.
Yeah.
I wish they'd have kept those.
All right. Well,
And,
we're gonna.
I think didn't Jessica mention the Arby's bacon cheese fries or something like that?
Well, they still
on one of the comments.
Oh, she may have. They at least the one close to where we work still has them, because I know a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I know Steven had some. I mean,
the one in Pell City does it. Yeah, they actually put the liquid cheese, the bacon bits, and then sour cream on them.
No, they ruined it with sour
cream. They don't put a lot of sour cream, just a little layer. But it's great.
Cody, you don't like cream all over yourself?
I don't like it sour.
Oh,
That should have been on the WTF foods. Was hey, one day somebody said, "Here's some caulk. I just got done fixing the shower. I'm gonna put it on my damn taco." That's sour cream.
Sour.
It's caulk.
No, sour cream is delicious. Now, do you? Let me ask you this:
Ew.
do you not like the flavor of sour cream, or is it the actual item sour cream? Like, do you eat sour cream and onion potato chips?
Yes.
So you just don't like sour cream.
you don't like that fluffy cream in your mouth. It's a texture thing. So
It is a texture thing. But
okay,
see,
yeah.
I like it in a hamburger. I mean, not hamburger. Yeah,
A potato.
a baked potato.
Well,
I
see,
love
that
it in
kind of
that.
that adds the gritty to it because of the potatoes. So that
Yeah, so it's mixed in, so I don't have to eat it. But like a
gotcha.
taco, when I bite into it, and it shoots the cream in my
Oh,
mouth.
oh,
I can't
oh,
do it.
oh my!
All right. Well, while we're on, I'm gonna skip around in our show notes just a hair while we're on the topic of food. Cody, you had some questions to ask us concerning food this week.
Yeah, so I run across a meme the other day, and it had a hamburger, and it said if you had to leave off one of these four things for, uh, or if you could take one of these four things away, what would it be? And I think it was pickles, lettuce, tomato,
Onion.
and
Onions.
onion. Yeah,
Yeah.
onions.
Yeah, those got to go.
Yeah,
Bye.
the tomatoes got to go.
It's
I can
tomatoes.
live without
And here's the
tomatoes.
thing: I don't like tomatoes on my burgers. Look, I grew up in Alabama. I'm as white trash as it gets. I will eat a straight tomato ass sandwich, 2 pieces of white bread, some mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and tomato. I will eat it. I will enjoy it. I have proven to Steven that I will take a tomato and eat it like a damn apple. I don't care, but I'm not putting it on my hamburger. I don't want tomato on my hamburger. It's just one of those things that doesn't go good to me.
Onions, pickles, fantastic. Lettuce, tomatoes, all fantastic. Onions is the one thing. You bite into a tomato and it's a little juicy, and you have tomato flavor come into your mouth, right? Well, onions, you bite into that and you have that flavor that hits your tongue, and you're like, oh God, I just bit a huge piece of onion. It just ruins the burger. Like, I don't want to bite it anymore once that happens.
I can't even talk to you anymore. Don't like onions. Do you like onion rings?
I love onion rings. I don't like them on my burger.
Now, let me ask you this:
I will eat them on a hot dog.
raw or cooked?
I prefer them cooked. I don't like them raw.
Cooked onions on a burger.
So I don't like them either way, because if they're raw, they have that super flavor that punches you in the face when you eat it. If they're cooked, then they're all slimy, and like you bite into it and it doesn't crunch off. It just and then dangles off the burger or out of your mouth. It's the worst. Onions got to go.
Can you make that? Can you make that sound again?
He sounds like the kid on Big Daddy when he spits the loogie
trying
down
to
and
see
it
how far he can
touches
down.
the concrete and sucks it back up. Oh, but then it got me thinking. So if let's say that you can only have your hamburger one way for the rest of your entire life, how would you have it fixed? And I don't mean how would you cook it, just what would you put on it?
Oh, I've got this one figured out right away. If I can only have it one way for the rest of my life, we're going classic. Double smash burger, really, really thin, crispy patties, cheese, and grilled onions.
For me, it's just ketchup. If I have to eat it just one way the rest of my life, just ketchup on it, and I'm good.
Why don't you just eat a steak and not put the bun on it?
Why don't you kiss my ass?
5-year old steak and ketchup.
No, I just figure, there might be days I don't want onion, or there may be days I don't want pickles.
Well, I got you one better, okay? And it's got to go in this order, okay? So there's the bun, and then you put 3 or 4 pickles. That pickle at the bottom really makes it. All right, so 3 or 4 pickles, and right on top of the pickles, pepper jack cheese. Yum, delicious. All right. Then you put the burger on to melt the cheese to the burger. On top, you got your lettuce, your tomato, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, all the condiments, and cheese sticks.
Whoa. You're going to eat that same hamburger the rest of your life, that
The
same
rest
way.
of my life. Yo, they had one that I'm pretty sure I had an artery clog and a small just stroke.
No.
But it was absolutely delicious. You bit into it and they were like Sonic cheese sticks. Like you bite into it, and it doesn't matter how old they are, they're still juicy mozzarella cheese. It's awesome on a burger. But you put a fried cheese stick on top, like one of the, almost like the Hardee's hash browns that are like square,
Right.
but a cheese stick like that. Put that on top. Oh, bro. Oh, food coma every time.
Man,
Yeah,
our audio listeners are going to think you're doing other stuff during the podcast, making those noises.
I did not expect to get cheese sticks. as an
Oh,
answer.
man.
That's impressive.
Look, when things get back to normal in the world, I'm taking y'all to Atlanta. And we're going to the Vortex. And they have a coronary bypass burger that is amazing.
Can we split it? Because I feel like that's something I'm not going to be able to finish.
Oh no, I didn't finish. Me and Jamie both ate it together, and
Oh,
I
you
just
gotta finish.
and I just had the double coronary bypass. They do have a food challenge that is a mass challenge, not heat. It's mass. They have a quadruple bypass coronary burger. Here's the fun thing about this burger. The bun, quote unquote bun on the burger is a grilled cheese sandwich. Like a grilled cheese sandwich on the bottom, a grilled cheese sandwich on the top. If you've got the double, there's a grilled cheese sandwich in the middle. And it's also served, I think the double is served with half a pound of potatoes, French fries, and tater tots covered in queso. This thing is ginormous, dude. And I just had the double coronary bypass. They serve a triple, and as I said, they have a food challenge with a quadruple coronary bypass that has 1 pound of potatoes plus all the food. And the buns move from grilled cheese to full-on patty melts. So you've got patty. It's I promise, like I can't even fit it in the screen. It's like this tall. Like they bring it to you with like the chopsticks shoved down in it so it'll stand up. You can look up pictures on Google. Search Vortex ATL quadruple coronary burger. It's huge.
I'm in. So you know, me and I know me and Alan have had this conversation before, but there's a place in Vegas that does something similar where they have the hamburgers and stuff, and they actually weigh you before you go in, and if you weigh so much, I think maybe it's over 300 pounds or something, you get to eat for free because they said you're probably gonna die. Like you have to sign a waiver to go in there and eat.
Isn't that the same place where the naughty nurses paddle you if you don't finish all your food?
Yes, and all the waitresses are certified nurses.
Oh my!
And
Because they said literally you could have a heart attack at any time eating that food.
It's the heart attack
man,
grill. That's
buttermilk
what it's
cakes.
called. It's called the heart attack grill. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I feel good about it.
But yeah, they spank you in front of everybody if you don't clean your plate.
Oh my! Well, that's all right.
If anybody's ever seen Larry the Cable Guy's show he had out for a few years where he's traveled all over the United States, I can't remember what it's called now, but he made a stop there, and that's how I learned about it. But yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'd like to try it out. You know, I don't want to have a heart attack, but I'd like to go eat there.
All right. Well, Christmas did just end, everybody, and we wanted to go ahead and talk about what was some of your favorite presents that you received this year and of all time. One of y'all want to start?
I'll go ahead, I guess. So I don't know if I can claim this one, so I got another thing as a backup. But this year we got a puppy for our little one. His name is Hedwig off of Harry Potter's Owl. He is a blue healer lab mix. He is absolutely adorable, and he is a freaking cotton ball. Like you grab his face and you're like, oh my gosh! So awesome. So super excited about that. But it's more Coraline's Peasants. So I don't know if I can claim that. So my actual favorite present this year for specifically me is I am a Disney nerd. Love Disney to death. Been every year since I was born. It's my thing. And Disney does these pin collectibles where it's just like the little pins you put on your shirt, but it's different characters, it's parks, it's all things Disney. You can find a pin on it. If you like Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, you can find a pin for him. If you like one of the rides, you can find a Tower of Terror pin to put on it. Well, I've been collecting over the years, and I kind of dragged my wife into it. She really enjoys it, and that's kind of our thing now. Like, we really enjoy the pin collecting. So for Christmas, she bought me a backpack that's specifically for the pins. So if you open it up, it flats down, and then there's a bunch of sleeves in it where you flip them over and there's more pins, and you can put the pins in there so you don't lose them. Because I used to keep them on a lanyard, and when they're on a lanyard like that, you end up bumping something and something falls off the lanyard. But in the backpack, it's not going anywhere. So my favorite gift, super excited about that. And then in the past, I would have to say my favorite gift would have been the PS1. I got the PS1, and I had a game called Perfect Weapon, Crash Bandicoot. Games like that were epic, and it was the first one that came out. My dad thought it would be great because we really liked the Atari. So the PS1 was pretty bad A when I got it as a kid.
All right. Well, you stole my best of all time. I was gonna say I also got a PlayStation 1 the year it was released, and some of my favorite games were, I liked a lot of the racing games back then. I was playing Jet Moto, Crash Bandicoot, as you mentioned. I was playing that. SSX was a big one for me, the snowboarding. Fun fact, my daughter is actually named after a character in that game.
Oh.
That's the first. SSX was the first time I heard the name Zoe. I'm like, that's a cool name. So I named my daughter is named after a video game character. So many good memories. I had owned a Nintendo original and a Sega Genesis, but they were just part time. When you spent the night with your buddies, you'd take it with you, or they spent the night with you and you'd play games at night. But the PlayStation is where my life took a hard right turn into gaming. I loved PlayStation. Metal Gear Solid was on the very first PlayStation with one of the coolest Easter eggs in a game ever. I don't know if either of y'all played Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
On the PlayStation 1, but do y'all remember the part where you had to fight the character Psycho Mantis? And he would say, I can read your thoughts. I know what you're going to do. You'll never be able to beat me. As long as you left your controller plugged into slot 1, the computer AI would block every attack you did. You could not beat him. Like, it was an unbeatable character. So the secret was you had to take your controller out of slot 1 and put it into player 2's slot, and then he would start saying things like, oh, what's going on? I can't read your mind. And then you could beat him. But you had to change your controller from slot 1 to slot 2.
That's pretty epic.
That was excellent. And it still came on 2 discs. You'd hit a point in the game where that's when games really started getting big. It's like, to continue your story, put in disc 2.
Yes.
As far as my favorite present this year, this is one that I'm going to get to share with you gentlemen.
Oh my!
We started out with this one. This was an early Christmas gift. This is Da Bomb Beyond Insanity, still sealed. Haven't tried it. Saving that for y'all. But my wife knows that I'm a big fan of the TV show Hot Ones, where we've gotten this idea from, and that I am myself a fan of hot sauces. I love hot sauces. So for my present this year from my wife and daughter, they got me the collection of all 3 sauces that are Hot Ones branded. So I have the classic, which is your basic table sauce. It's like a garlicky Tabasco. We have Los Calientes, which is it's hot, but it's still a lot of flavor. And then we have this one. You can't
Diablo.
see that. That's the Last Dab Apollo. This is now made with the hottest pepper in the world, the Apollo pepper, which is several times hotter than a Carolina Reaper.
Am I the only one who, in their head, when you pulled out the box, it said "Stay spicy"? The Dos Equis guy came up and said, "Stay spicy, my friends."
So, and I will tell y'all this: I've tasted the first one, and I've tasted number 5, and I do have access to all 10 sauces at this point. My brother has them. Everything above 7, 8, 9, and 10, I refuse to taste until we all taste them together. As I've told y'all in person, and now announcing it on the podcast. Scouts honor, is that it? 3 fingers? I don't know. I was never in the Scouts.
I was thinking more of maybe odds.
It's Hunger Games, right?
Sauce,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sauces 7 through 10 will not be tasted by me until we all taste them together. I want a genuine reaction. I do not want to know what they taste like until all 3 of us are together. And go ahead and stay with us until the end of the episode. We've got our next special episode announcement. Cody, I think I overstepped you on that one. I jumped in there. What are some of your favorite presents, man?
Oh, so this year my favorite present I got was from my wife. It's a 3-stand guitar rack
Oh,
for live shows
Nice.
or just piddling around the house with an attachment I can make it 4. But really, I mean, if I have my acoustic in there, I could probably put 3 electrics, I guess, in there with it. But it's really nice. I've been wanting one for years, and it was a big surprise. I had no idea I was getting that. So thanks, hon. But in the past, probably so back in 2009, I remember the Eagles were coming to Birmingham, and I really wanted tickets. And I remember my dad telling me that he wasn't able to get any. They sold out or whatever. So I was really disappointed. And then and that was right before Christmas. I guess they went on sale in October, November, something like that. So at Christmas, I get this envelope, and the tickets were in there. He got me and my wife tickets, and
Nice.
that was probably the best present I've ever got because I'm a lifelong Eagles fan, huge fan. And so I was really glad I got to see him, before Glenn passed away. So I got to see minus I didn't get to see Don Felder,
awesome.
but did get to see him in 2009. But other than that, when I was a kid, I remember I got this humongous box. It looked like something you'd put a washing machine would come in, and I opened it up, and there was probably 10 to 15 WWF wrestlers in there.
Nice.
It was awesome. Me and my brother were huge wrestling fans in the 90s, early 2000s. So we had probably every wrestler you could think of. And as far as actually, the toy or whatever. So that was awesome. I just remember I just kept digging through that box and finding them. That was probably my 2 favorite presents from the past. So it's good stuff.
Awesome.
No, absolutely. No, I remember that. I remember collecting all the wrestling figures too. Me and another friend of ours. He actually had the ring and everything, and I remember one crazy thing that we used to do was just take all our wrestlers and dump them in the ring, and then we'd sit there and shake it, acting like it was the damn Royal Rumble. And last wrestler that was in, we would say won. It was completely random. Like we literally just shook the ring back and forth until they all fell out and left one in the ring.
Oh no, we did everything, man. We had the Titantron when that came out.
I never had that.
and it was pretty cool. You know, it had like eight different theme musics on it. You hit the button and it would play the Rock's theme music or Stone Cold or the Undertaker.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, it was fun. We had this backyard brawl set where it had a like a dumpster and like a baseball bat and just all this stuff for when the hardcore championship came out. And chairs and tables, and it was awesome, man. We had everything. We would have full pay-per-views in my bedroom. It was cool.
That's awesome. Steven, you had some questions you wanted to ask this week. What you got?
Yes. So, my first one I'm going to present to y'all is if you had to have someone watch a movie that you suggested and your life depended on it, but you can't tell them, hey, I'm going to die if you don't watch this movie. You got to tell them, hey, man, I think you should really watch this movie tonight. I think you'll really love it. You got to convince them to go out and buy it. It's worth the watch. What movie would you sell them on? How would you sell it? And I'll go ahead and go first. So, and this kind of goes back to the PlayStation, right? My first favorite gift with the PlayStation. Ready Player One is my favorite movie. I mean, for the long time, it was The Italian Job. I love that movie, but when Ready Player One came out, last year before that, just dude, the nostalgia absolutely pounded me in the face over and over and over again. I mean, growing up with all the references, the movie has Mortal Kombat references. It has old movie references. I mean, anything and everything that you grew up with. I mean, it's really there in some form or fashion. World of Warcraft type characters, Halo type characters, Chucky is in the movie. Gundam. If you grew up watching Gundam on Toonami, that was awesome. Like everything in that movie, just when you see it, you're like, oh my God, I remember watching it as a kid when I was like 8 years old. It was so cool to see all of that thrown into one movie. And every time I saw something new, I got excited. I'm like, oh, I mean, they even threw the holy hand grenade from Monty Python's in the movie. There is a holy hand grenade in the movie. So I mean, if you're not a big movie watcher, if you're not a big video game player, and you watch that movie, I would be utterly baffled if you didn't get one reference from that entire movie. I mean, King Kong, everything is in that movie that you could possibly think of that we
Right.
grew up watching, and it just every time I watch it, I get excited because I find a new character in the background. I'm like, oh man, look at that! So that would be my one spill, and I would just keep going on and on about all the things that you can see in that movie. It's epic.
So sidebar, I think one episode we should just read the script from the Mighty Python movie and in the accent. That would be
Why
great.
didn't vote for you? You don't vote for a king. You're trying to
that's
tell
such a
me
great
some
movie.
watery talk threw you a sword, and you're all of a sudden a king.
So along those same lines as the nostalgic part, I really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph because it had all the old game references in there.
Yes.
Like when he's looking through the box of props and stuff, and he pulls out the exclamation point, and that was from the
That was solid
Metal Gear Solid.
The Metal Gear Solid, yeah.
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 and they're all and then all the villains. It had Bowser, and it had the guy from Street Fighter. I can't remember his
Yes.
name, Bison or something. His
M.
name.
Bison.
Yeah, yeah. So I always like watching that movie for all the nostalgic too.
Yes.
But I guess if I had to sell a movie, the two I would try to sell would be Wolf of Wall Street and Tombstone.
Oh man.
So
Yeah, both of those are pretty epic.
I'll keep my
So-
reasons to myself, but I imagine Wolf of Wall Street wouldn't be hard to sell.
well, as long as you don't have any problem with nudity, drugs, profanity,
And Margot Robbie.
you know, it's oh, that's an epic movie. And then Tombstone. I mean, what's there not to like about Tombstone? You got four awesome actors. You got Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Sam Elliott and Bill Paxton
Yeah.
are all the main characters.
Hey, Steven, remind me,
Mustaches.
when was the first time you saw that movie?
Oh God. Probably like 2 months ago. The first time ever. It was so disappointing too, because it's such a great movie. And you know the worst part about it is my dad, as I was growing up, he loved old westerns. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen every John Wayne movie, I've seen every Clint Eastwood movie, I've seen The Wild Bunch, I've seen just he loved. But that's one that I guess he saw without me because I never saw it, and it's a phenomenal movie.
It's an excellent movie.
I'll tell you
And
what's
I'll
tough
say
about.
this. Well, go ahead, Cody.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, to your point, for Wolf of Wall Street, I don't think I have ever had a movie snag my attention so fast. When the opening scene, he walks out of his mansion and he says something along the lines of, "I take enough drugs to sedate the entire city of Manhattan for a month in one day." And then he goes through the list like, I take this to lift me up. I take this to drag me down. I take this to have me focused. And he just starts listing off drugs. I'm like,
You know
what?
what's scary? I watched an interview with the actual guy that that movie's talking about, The
Right?
Wolf of Wall Street, and he said that they didn't do it justice for the drugs he was doing. He said what they put in the movie does not do it justice.
Good God.
Yeah.
God.
He's not human. Like that.
He
Yeah,
is,
no
yeah.
doubt.
Because like I said, when he said that in the opening line, like, I take enough drugs to sedate the entire city of Manhattan for a month in one night, I'm like, that is freaking outrageous.
In case anybody hasn't seen it, we won't delve into spoilers, but I think my favorite scene in that movie is where they're taking the old ass pills, the ones that are so old, and he thinks they're not working, so he keeps popping another one and another one and another one, and then he's trying to drive, and he thinks he's made it to where he's going perfectly fine. He's like, "Damn, these things still aren't working," and they show like a different camera angle that's not from his point of view, and this like nice ass Porsche is like completely totaled, like there's bushes all knocked down everywhere, like. And he's in bad shape. He's like, he's trying to like crawl across the ground.
I cannot believe he didn't win a Oscar for that movie.
Poor Leo. I mean,
He's had Titanic was worthy, I believe, of an Oscar. I thought he did fantastic in the Titanic. The Revenant, he earned it there. I think he did a phenomenal job with that too. So he was going to get it eventually. But Wolf of Wall Street, I agree with you, should have been his
It's
Oscar,
sad that it went all the way to The Revenant for him to win Best Actor.
right? Because Catch Me If You
All the
Can. God,
films he
we could
had.
probably have a whole podcast about Leo movies because he has done just a whole bunch of like incredible movies.
look, future episode, show idea right here, live on the podcast. Future episode, we need to think of some of the best actors who have the longest streaks of doing good movies. Actors like Leo, actors like Tom Hanks, we need to do an episode where we talk about actors that it's harder to find a bad movie that they've done than to try and pick out a good one.
I mean,
Like Leo, Tom Hanks are the examples. Like you love everything those two guys have done.
all right. Well, me and Cody have sold ours. What's your poison, Alan?
Movie that I have, a lot of people say I've watched this 1,000 times, and they're full of crap. They mean they've watched it a lot and they like it a lot. I have watched this movie probably 1,000 times. Dazed and Confused. Look, it's Matthew McConaughey's start. The line that everybody knows from Matthew McConaughey, all right, is from that movie. That's all you need to know. Young Matthew McConaughey, Ben Affleck, very young, one of his first, if not his first movies on that. It's the classic coming of age tale, but it's not powder coated, it's not sugar coated. It's the last day of school for this group of juniors who are becoming seniors. And the whole idea is that the incoming class of seniors gets to paddle the incoming class of juniors on the guys' side. And then all the popular girls that are going to be seniors are hazing all the freshman girls that are coming into high school that are going to be like the new cheerleaders. It's the popular girls from middle school coming into high school. Like, it's it's an epic tale. I have literally seen this movie countless times.
So you also can't forget, I don't remember the discourse completely, but there was a scene where Matthew McConaughey was asking somebody else about something. He was like, you don't do that?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Be a lot cooler if you did."
Yeah,
Almost
exactly.
everybody knows that. Be a lot cooler if you did.
Exactly. I mean, it's and it ends with them like the whole idea is that after this one night of this epic party at the Moon Tower, like they're going to buy tickets to go see Aerosmith in the 70s. I mean, this is like epic. I mean, they end up back at school partying, ending the party on the 50-yard line of the high school football field. Like I've mentioned in previous episodes that like one of my guilty pleasures is teen rom-coms. And I honestly think that Dazed and Confused is where it started. Like
That's a good
although
one.
like that movie is excellent. The only other movie I have seen near as many times as Dazed and Confused is Empire Records, which is also an excellent movie. Empire Records is phenomenal.
Nice. Well, side note, since you talked about teen rom-coms, I didn't find out till today why they called Fez because that's not his real name.
Yeah, you never find out his real name.
But you know what Fez stands for?
Foreign exchange student, yes.
Yes, I just found that out today. I'm a Weenie Hut Junior, but I found that out today. I was like, what?
Yeah,
They just like, you know what? We're not going to call you foreign exchange student. Welcome to the family, Fez.
yeah.
But yeah, so you brought that up and it made me think about that. I found that out
They
today. I was
never announce his name. But
like,
putting two and two together, let me make while we're on recommendations for movies. This one's not a movie, but it ties into two things you just mentioned. We just mentioned that 70s show, and Cody mentioned Sam Elliott earlier. If y'all haven't seen The Ranch,
oh, epic.
you
Yes.
need to watch The Ranch. It's Ashton Kutcher, Sam Elliott, Danny, I can't think of his last name, Hyde from that 70s show. At some point during the show's run, almost every character from that 70s show makes a cameo. The only two that don't make a cameo are Topher and the redheaded girl, Laura Prepon. They're the only two main characters that don't make an appearance in the show. It's also got the girl from the girl next door. I can't think of her name, escapes me right now, but she's a main character in this show. If you haven't seen The Ranch on Netflix with Ashton Kutcher, it's an excellent show. Like I finished all of it in a matter of a couple weeks. Like you can binge it. It's very easy to binge. It's a very good show.
All right. Well, my next topic that I had kind of brainstormed, I got this from the Jocks Roundtable. I listen to them occasionally in the morning on the way to work. But where is a place that you can sit for 8 straight hours and just watch, other than a strip club? That one doesn't count. But I had a feeling. But there are some amazing things out in the world. The pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China. The wonders of the world. But there's also some pretty great things outside of just that. And it might not be a beautiful scenery. I mean, some people can sit and people watch at a mall for 8 hours because people look pretty ridiculous sometimes when they go out in public. It could be a bench at Walmart. But what is one place that y'all could sit and just watch for 8 straight hours and just sit.
Well, for me, it just if I'm in the woods, I would be really happy. I think I could sit in the woods for days. It's like I always tell people I don't deer hunt, but I would love to go deer hunting just to sit in the woods and be away from everything, have my phone turned off, and just I don't know, take a nap, just stare at the nature. I love it, and I love it being cold too. So I think the woods would be where I could sit 8 straight hours. I don't know that I could sit anywhere else for 8 straight hours and just watch.
For me, it's the complete opposite. Give me the beach all day long, all day, every day. I could sit on the beach from sun up till sundown. Like I love being at the beach. I love being on the warm sand. I love the heat. I love hearing just the water smashing on the sand, waves rolling in. Even if it's from a light ripple to like more heavier waves, like I could spend all day on the beach. The beach is my happy place. I will live at the beach one day. If it's the last thing I do, if I have to spend the last week of my life, I don't care. I will live at the beach before I die.
I feel you. Well, for me, being the Disney weenie that I am, it would be the train station at Magic Kingdom. So for anybody who's not been there, Magic Kingdom, the entrance to Magic Kingdom is in some tunnels. You have to go through some tunnels, but above those tunnels is a train track that goes around the entire park. It circles the park, so you can get from one end of the park without having to walk. But it's elevated, and at the station, you can actually stand up there and you can see down Main Street that leads towards the castle of Disney. But not just the view and the slew of people that's going to walk through there and stuff like that, but throughout the day the the balloon cart guys are walking through there, so you see those huge towers of balloons just strolling across the street, and they have parades there all day. They have entertainment like barbershop quartets will walk around there and they'll just stop and sing occasionally just to be fun. They have a horse trolley. I mean, there's so much going on that I could probably send there for a month straight and see something new every 10 minutes. A month straight. I mean, they got so much going on, but that one scene just staring directly down Main Street towards the castle is just, like I said, always been a big Disney fan, and that one view I could probably just sit and stare for end on end. Love it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it looks like we are actually nearing the end of this episode. We do want to touch on one thing. I know a lot of y'all have been loving our special one-off episodes, whether it was the now infamous and sadly gone Starburns, or our latest special episode was the Disney special that may have ended in some controversy. Uh, I got a
Controversy here. Sore loser.
I got accused of leading Cody in the final answer. But we have our next special episode planned. We are currently eyeing the end of January, around the 24th. And with the help of my brother, who got all the sauces as a present to himself for Christmas, we do have access to the full season 13 lineup of Hot Ones hot sauces. That is the current lineup, and we will be doing the full gauntlet for a special episode. All 10 sauces, which does include the Bomb and the Last Dab Apollo, and a new one that comes in at the number 9 spot between the Bomb and Last Dab Apollo, that was also handmade for Hot Ones by the man who is responsible for creating the Carolina Reaper and the Apollo Pepper. That is Smokin' Ed Curry at Pucker Butt in South Carolina. So it's I'm not looking forward to that one. I expect that one to be honestly a little bit painful. But we are going to go through the whole gauntlet we are gonna do an episode of Hot Ones. Basically, we will be doing a normal episode, and every few minutes trying the next wing and seeing how that goes. So y'all keep an eye out for that, and we're looking forward to doing it. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see which one of us can survive, or if we can all survive the gauntlet of Hot Ones.
I feel that it would be entertaining to do a follow-up episode where we talk about how the old Rectum Rangers hold out after doing these extremely hot sauces. Just to, obviously not a visual. People don't need to see that.
I mean, we can document it, and we can put up visual aids on that episode.
But just talking about it, I'm sure we'll get the whole picture of the wreckage that goes on in the butthole area.
I mean, I wasn't talking about video images of it happening. I was just talking about, pictures of the aftermath before you flush it. I mean,
Gross.
How about just like a documentary for each one of them? Like we take a selfie.
How
all right, Dave.
How about
hour one wasn't too bad. At hour 7, we're broke out in a full sweat.
Can you imagine this? Your first shit after doing this Hot Ones gauntlet, you have to be sitting on the toilet with your phone, like recording a video. Okay, so this is what I'm going through right now.
These are gonna fit along the same lines as the Gummy Bear Harbro reviews. Like I'm gonna be shooting out liquid napalm from my nethers.
Because just think, in your gut, by the time you have to, before you hit that point, you're gonna have 10 different hot sauces all swimming around in there.
Hot sauce, baby.
I want to go ahead and say that I'm a team player and I'm going to do this, but I am not looking forward to doing this.
Look, I'll tell you
I
this.
love wings, I love hot stuff, but I do not like having the flamethrower ass.
I will tell you this. 1 through 5, I did taste test, and you're good on 1 through 5. I know that for a fact. You'll be good.
12?
10.
Oh, okay.
10. 1 through 5, you're good. 1 through 5 is delicious. Can't speak much for the ones after that. Like I said, I want pure reactions. I want genuine reactions. 1 through 5 is delicious.
Mm.
All right. Well, looks like we are going to go ahead and call that an episode, unless either one of y'all have anything else to say. Oh, we do want to go ahead and bring that up. All right, guys. I was going to keep it quiet, but okay. Surprise segment. One of our hosts here doesn't think it's possible for us to hit 500 subs. And I know it's going to be a long road, but we need y'all's help. If we hit when we hit 500 subs, we will start a Talks for the People OnlyFans. And we will post a picture of Steven's butthole. So we need your help. We need to get to 500 subs. If we get to 500 subs, you get a picture of Steven's butthole. Let's see those numbers flying up. Steven doesn't think we will hit 500 subs. I think even if it takes a year, that we will get 500 subs, and we will post a picture of Steven's butthole on OnlyFans. We'll even make him shave it so you can see it.
Oh. Are you saying you've already seen it? And it's a little woolly?
No, but I have not.
It's a safe assumption, I would guess.
And I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, we've already discussed doing other things too if we hit 500 subs. I mean, you might get a We might do a Talks for the People sexy calendar. I mean, for the following year after we hit the 500 subs. I mean, we'll do this. We'll give y'all a calendar. Look,
God.
I mean, who doesn't want to see us three posing out on like nice cars in a speedo? You know, legs up.
Heyo.
I mean, we'll do it. We'll do a sexy calendar for y'all. We need to hit 500 subs. Y'all make it happen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on episode 9 of Talks for the People. We hope you have a wonderful new year. It will be 2021 by the next time you hear from us. And we pray to all that is holy that 2021 is a better year for us, for you, for your loved ones. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. I'm so happy that y'all are with us through this and going through 2021. We hope to get even bigger and share our fun with the rest of the world. So y'all keep sharing, y'all keep subscribing. Hey, and you know what? Like I said, Talks for the People. We can't say this enough. Talks for the people. You think it, we'll talk about it. And we might stray off the beaten path a little bit, but we'll be excited to sit there and talk about some of this stuff. So please, by all means, keep supporting us. We appreciate it. And every time y'all support us, we'll make sure to call y'all out and throw you a shout out during the cast.
Absolutely, guys. I think we talked about this earlier that we want to do a show where it's just on your guys' comments. So make sure you come in, give us some topics, and that's all we'll talk about one episode or
Absolutely.
any episode if we get enough. But thanks again for the support. Have a happy new year and be safe.
Everybody, thank you. Peace out.
Peace.
Rock on.